Today, we're going to talk about how to combine calisthenics and weightlifting. So me personally, I have been doing calisthenics for about 5 years now. I've been doing weighted calisthenics for the most part, and bodyweight calisthenics on the side most of the time as well. And as of the last year and a half or so, maybe even two, I've been implementing a lot of weight training, sometimes even more than calisthenics. A lot of y'all have been asking me on how to improve progress and on how to actually combine calisthenics with weights, because a lot of calisthenics athletes, they want to kind of get into weights, but they don't know how to get into it. I'm going to show you how to do it today, right? I'm going to show you the most effective ways on how to actually combine calisthenics with weights in order to see more progress with your results. In my opinion, if you implement calisthenics as a weight training athlete, you will see way more benefits compared to only doing weights. And this goes for calisthenics athletes as well. All the calisthenics athletes who are just doing weighted dips and pull-ups, you can make so much more progress muscle-wise, strength-wise, endurance-wise if you add weights on the side. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's get into tip number one. Tip number one is prioritizing your most important calisthenics exercises in your routine. For me, for example, weighted dips and weighted pull-ups are my priority when it comes to exercises and where I want to gain the most strength, right? So weighted pull-ups and weighted dips gotta be at the beginning of the workout. With you, it could be something different. Let's say you want to achieve the planche, right? And you want to do planche training. Make sure you do your planche training at the beginning of your workout. It doesn't matter what your split is. This does not have anything to do with splits or workout routines or what type of schedule you're following. This is for the people who just want to implement calisthenics or weights into their lifestyle when it comes to weights or calisthenics, whatever you do as of right now. Your most important exercises should always come first. So if you're a calisthenics athlete looking to add more weights in their routine and your weighted dip is your most important exercise to prioritize, you want to progress in that the most, prioritize it over anything else still, because it's your most important exercise. So if you do not prioritize that first, you're definitely gonna lack in progress over time. It's very simple. When you do weighted dips first, right? The weighted dips are out of the way, and the weighted dips were performed with your best self. You are the freshest, right? When you do a bunch of exercises first and then you do your dips, the dip sets that you are gonna do are not gonna be with your full strength because you have done a shit ton of exercises before. Same thing with pull-ups. If you prioritize your pull-ups, you should do it first. If you first do a couple of bicep exercises or different back exercises before, or leg, whatever you do, and then the weighted pull-ups, the weighted pull-ups are going to suffer. The reason why is because you have done so many things before that. So it doesn't matter what your prioritized exercise is, you should always put it at the beginning of the workout in your most freshest state. If you do this, you will progress. The reason why I also do this is because you can see your progress clearly. Your progress is real. So when you do 3 sets of 5 dips with 50 kg, and then you do all your other exercises, then next week you do 3 sets of 5 with 52.5 kg, that's real strength. That's real progress, right? But let's say you do 3 sets of 5 dips with 50 kg after a bunch of exercises, right? Which is possible. Next week, you're going to do it again after all those exercises. You're going to do it 3 sets of 5, but now you're not able to add the 2.5 kg. So that's why, put it at the beginning. That's how you're going to gain your most strength as well. The progress that you make when you put it at the beginning is going to be the most honest, real progress. Tip number 2 on how to implement weights into your routine. Isolate the muscles that are lagging or that are not being trained as well with calisthenics. Right now, my arms are not that bad, right? My arms were always the lagging part. I can show you a couple of pictures. As you can see, my arms were always lagging behind. They were the skinniest muscle on my body. Now, did I do anything to change this? No. Did I want to change? Yes. I thought that doing the weighted dips and doing the weighted pull-ups and doing all the other shit that I was doing, high volume pull-ups, high volume dips, push-ups, muscle-ups, were gonna grow my arms. The truth is, they were growing my arms, but they weren't growing at the rate that I was wanting them to grow, right? So I wanted big arms, I wanted big biceps, I wanted big triceps, but they were always lagging behind. So I had to make a change. I had to make a change into saying to myself, you know what? I need to step out of the box that I'm in currently and isolate some of the muscles that need to be worked. I have stubborn muscles. You probably have stubborn muscles, right? Your rear delt could be stubborn, your delts could be stubborn, your legs, your chest, your arms, it doesn't matter. But if you have a stubborn muscle group that doesn't grow, you need to put special attention on it. So let's say you're like me and you have been focusing on weighted dips and weighted pull-ups forever, right? And you're really good at those exercises. Your chest is big, your back is big, your forearms are pretty huge, but your arms, the volume of your arms, the size of your arms is kind of lacking. And the reason why they're kind of lacking is because they don't directly work the arms. Of course, they train your arms. If you have a slight genetic advantage when it comes to your arms are going to explode from weighted dips and pull-ups. But if you're like me and you have a lagging area, which is my arms, and I have a slight genetic disadvantage with my arms, I need to put special attention on it. I need to train them separately in order to see real growth, right? If I just keep doing push-ups and pull-ups, my arms are not going to grow the way I want them to grow. So if you want to add weights to your calisthenics routine, add isolation to your routines, focusing on the muscles that do not grow as fast. Or another tip, focusing on the muscles that do not get trained well with calisthenics. Of course, every muscle can be trained with calisthenics, but some muscles are just being attacked less. That's just how it is. If you isolate those muscles, you will see so many benefits, first off, in your physique and also in your strength, because a lot of these muscles that you use but you don't really see growth in are still very active during certain calisthenics movements. So yes, dips do get you big triceps and they are a very effective tricep exercise, but some people do not build a certain type of muscle group as well with just a compound movement, such as me. I have a genetic disadvantage when it comes to my arms, when it comes to my legs, so I have to put special work on them. So that's tip number 2. Implement isolation on the muscles where it's needed with weights into your calisthenics routine. Tip number 3, use weightlifting exercises to level up your calisthenics strength. This kind of also ties back into tip number 2 that I was talking about. There are so many weightlifting exercises that can be used in order to level up your calisthenics game. I specifically talk about a lot of weighted dips and a lot of pull-ups, right? Because those are the 2 exercises that I specialize in. I'm a street lifter at heart. So I do those exercises over and over again. What will make me better at performing those exercises? Simple, doing those exercises. It's pretty simple. But is there a way that I can actually improve my progress over time by just a slight bit? It doesn't even have to be miles of a difference, but just a slight bit. Yes, it's by implementing also isolation movements to that certain type of muscle or that mimic the exercise in order to get stronger at it. So a lot of things that I used to do in order to really improve my pull-up is to add single arm rows as an assistant exercise. This is what I used to do. I used to first get the pull-ups out of the way, so I was focusing a lot on the 3x3, very low volume and very progressively mindseted, right? So I was just progressively overloading the exercise over time. Same thing with dips. And for the pull-ups, as an accessory exercise, I used single arm pull down with the cable in order to progress a little bit quicker. So what I used to do is to really isolate that lat and to also mimic that one arm pull up and get really strong at it, also involving my forearms in order to also get stronger at the regular pull up. Did this work? Yes, because before I had a strength block with 3 sets of 5, and now I did a strength block with 3 sets of 3 without adding any type of isolation exercise, just doing minimalistic work. Then I had a second strength block with 3x3 or 3x5 as well, with adding exercises to level up my pull-up or level up the exercise that I want to get better at. And I got way better results with the exercises that actually helped me get there quicker. That is also very important. Pick exercises that are going to help you progress in certain type of lifts or certain type of calisthenics movements. With the dips, you have plenty of exercises. Even the regular bench press can work. Push-ups can work, of course, and direct tricep work can also work. So that is something that I used to do. I used to isolate my triceps in order to get better stimulus at the dips. I used to isolate my triceps to get stronger at that last part of the dip, which is the lockout, which you need your triceps for, right? Some things like that could really improve your progress with calisthenics. Tip number 4 is using phases to progress in both. So you have weightlifting phases and you have street lifting or calisthenics phases. With me, it's street lift. So you would have a weightlifting phase, or no, you would have a street lifting phase of around 12 weeks, minimum of 6. What you would do is you would literally only focus on your goals when it comes to street lifting or weighted calisthenics or just calisthenics, whatever you want to do. Then after that, you would really take out all the exercises that you used to do and switch it out for a totally different phase, which would be the weightlifting phase. Basically fine-tuning what you have been working on. It could be hypertrophy-wise, it could be strength-wise, it doesn't matter. But if you have phases, it's something that can help you implement weights and calisthenics into your routine to kind of combine them both, but not to do them only in one session, because for some people it's really difficult to add them in one session. 6 to 12 weeks on a training program when it comes to weighted calisthenics, and then 6 to 12 weeks on a weightlifting program focusing on weightlifting. Now, mind you, both of the training styles should be maximum intensity, maximum effort, close to failure, stuff like this, right? Depending on your goal as well. Then the last tip number 5, supersetting weights with body weight exercises. So we all know that intensity is needed to build muscle, correct? How can you up the intensity? Very simple. Let's say you have a chest press or you have a bench press. If you bench pressing close to failure, but you want to take it to the next level when it comes to building muscle, you need to go beyond failure. This is what I do a lot of the time. So when I hit failure on an exercise, if you want to take it beyond failure, there's a couple of things to do. One, you can add partial reps. You can add a isometric phase in there, which basically means that you're going to be holding the weight for a certain amount of time in the stretched position. Number 3 is by drop setting the weight, so taking the weight off and hitting more reps. Or number 4, and this is my advice to you, you can do all these 3 before, right? But the last one, which is the most important one, is to superset it with a body weight exercise. So take a bench press. You have done all the intensity exercises, all the intensity techniques applied, right, to get the most bang for your buck. Now, the last thing to do is superset it with some push-ups. Burn totally out. I'm telling you, just making a difference by just adding this push-up to your last chest press or every single set of chest press will already change the soreness to a next level. You was gonna be sore from the thing before, of course, yes. But if you add push-ups upon it, you're taking it so far that your body really drops down to the ground and cannot do anything more. That is what you want to reach. And by adding a bodyweight exercise after you already went to failure on a weightlifting exercise can really be the method to actually go up in intensity and build more muscle. Because if you're not doing this, you're possibly leaving gains on the table. Same thing with pull-ups. When I do back, the first thing I do after a weightlifting back exercise, I really like to superset it with more pull-ups, especially wide grip, to really get that stretch on the lats, right? To really pull your lats the fuck apart, and then pull it up and really squeeze the back on top. That's something that you can add right now, tomorrow, to your workout in order to up the intensity. And you will already see crazy, insane results after weeks of trying this. So if you want to be able to combine weighted calisthenics and weights, I do have an 8-week program that is online right now for cheaper than it was before. So go over there. It's not going to be this cheap forever, but go over there, get the 8 weeks started in order to actually progress further and further. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.